Greetings, all you villains out there. I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I'm coming at you with another My Hero Academia chapter review. This time it's chapter 239, titled Succession, and it opens up in a really funny way, with Spinner basically being like, "Yo, what's up? It's your boy, Spinner," while he's hanging dramatically off the back of Trumpet's election van, and it's basically just a voiceover for him, just being like, "Oh, okay, I'm hanging from this van trying to get this political dude. Everything's going crazy. There's massive destruction. Another Tuesday for the League of Villains." And everyone is trying desperately to escape from the destruction of each of Tomura Shigaraki's attacks, because the power that he now wields is just that immense. He's just completely devastating the surrounding area each time he brings his hand down. And you also have Skeptic trying desperately to get Ruri Destro to make sure he's okay. To make sure he's safe. Meanwhile, Tomura Shigaraki, he's thinking back to the words of All for One. He's just like that, your people's lives, their hard work, their progress are all in your hands. Ways to truly be free to seek out and succeed. Or was it actually Reed Despero thinking about that? No, because he talks about joy and hatred and all that, and bringing it all together to one day finally be free. And I think that's Tomura Shigaraki gaining an understanding of what All for One was trying to teach him, to try to do to him. The hands that were binding him and holding him back are no longer needed. He has truly been set free and is unleashing his immense power. And it's devastating Redestro's suit. The decay is spreading really quickly. It has a bit of a limited range, so as long as Redestro gets out of that range, he should be fine. But the problem being, it's just going too quickly. It's too much happening too fast, and that's the thing. Tomura Shigaraki's range has just increased to such an insane degree, or what I should be saying is it's reverted to what it was always able to do, because when his quirk first awakened, we saw that his power could just go spread out to a massive area, because that's what collapsed Tomura's dad's house. His power. It's how he killed his mom, because his power could just spread out with all of that decay and destruction over a wide, vast area of land. That's why I'm still under the assumption that no, he killed his mother by accident. Where a lot of people are just like, oh, he willingly killed his. No, it was just his power just surging out and surging forward, because he did not know that there was a range on his ability. He didn't know that it was simple. He thought it would. At first, you think, okay, you touch someone, they decay. But no, we saw that he touches any kind of area, the decay spread. The decay spreads out over a massive amount of area, killing many people. And this is Tomura willingly unleashing that destruction, creating massive amounts of decay, destruction, devastation, chaos. Everything's just collapsing around him, and there he is in the middle of it. And Redestro, desperately trying to escape this devastation and destruction, he's trying to get away, and he looks back and he sees Tomura in the middle of all this chaos, laughing, just reveling in his own power. And meanwhile, Redestro, who had sent out the various pieces of the armor, jettisoning them as far away as he could in order to just ride it out of harm's way. Unfortunately, he ends up getting caught. I'm not really sure what happens. It almost looks like he gets caught on a piece of debris, or he ends up falling off or something, falling into the decay and destruction. And the only way for him to actually avoid it was to cut off his own legs until the wave of destruction passed by him harmlessly. And I love the reaction on Gigantamachia's face, because he was just mindlessly rampaging up until this point, but just seeing an entire giant chunk of a city just get leveled like this, he's just looking on like, well, fuck. Like, he's stunned by what he's seeing. And Tomura goes limping uselessly over to Redestro, just like, so you cut off your feet before you touch the ground so you could avoid the decay. But remind me, who started this battle? And he's just rubbing it into Redestro's face, just like, yeah, you kind of fucked up when you picked a fight with us, didn't you, dude? How did that work out for you? How did that go for you? I hope you're happy, dumbass. So he's really just rubbing it into Tomura's face. But the reaction that Redestro has isn't one of anger. You see his veins popping out, more, but it's hard to tell if he's just in pain or he's just frustrated by everything. But his forces come in, Trumpet's just like, oh no, everyone, you have to save the supreme leader, but Tomura Shigaraki gives him that look, that I'ma kill you all look. Just, man, Horikoshi is just nailing it with all the various faces he's given Tomura over the course of this story arc, because all of them gold, and I hope the anime can replicate it. Because all of these faces he's made have been scary, creepy, intimidating, phenomenal, just a masterpiece of artwork. And everyone, despite the fact that they are overly zealous, despite the fact that Trumpet is trying to use his incitement in order to pump them up and get them to move forward, to basically lay down their lives for Redestro, none of them budge an inch. It's almost like they're just seeing like a tiger off to the distance, and it's just like, yeah, no, that's death. That whole area right there, that's death. But Redestro just waves his hand, gives the, Liberation Army sign of putting his thumb to his forehead and extending his index. The loser sign, basically. Like, yep, took that L. You took that L hard. And he tells Trumpet, yep, it's over. I messed up. I started this fight. I'm not losing any more people to any of this. If nothing else, my dying wish is, in the original Destro's dying wish, it was that we would die for our cause, die for our resolve and all that. And he starts to think back. It was to die in the pursuit of using their superpowers freely, the liberation over suppression, and the whole reason they tear of their organization has kind of been just shrugged off by some young punk who wanted to just destroy everything. All their history, all their lineage, everything was nothing into the face of this overwhelming just figure for the most part. And Redestro's just like, yeah, you're right, I shouldn't have picked a fight with you. But no matter what, I'm not above sacrificing myself for Destro's will. So if I have to die, then so be it. And Gigantomachia is just staring at Tomura Shigaraki, and then he sees a glimpse of All for One in Tomura's figure, and Spinner looks out to see the most shocking thing possible, Redestro kowtowing before Tomura and saying that the Liberation Army is yours to command. He sees the embodiment of Destro's will in Tomura, that he is the result of all of that. Just this being who uses their power unabashedly, unequivocally. He just puts everything forward, and Redestro's just giving up his life for this. And Spinner is stunned. He's thinking back to everything that the doctor said and that whole situation, just realizing, she's just looking off to this horizon thinking, it looks kind of beautiful, doesn't it? And I'm just like, yeah, Spinner, you drank this Kool-Aid, bro. You drank this Kool-Aid. That should be horrifying to you. But Tomura, while Gigantomachia is seeing his successor, Redestro seeing the next leader, Spinner seeing something beautiful in his eyes, real purpose and weight and meaning. Tomura like a fucking G, is just like, our past situation was one where we were living in squalor, eating discount sushi and, discount food and all that. Hey, Mr. President, you got money, right? It's just like, oh shit. Oh shit. That is incredible, because they just solved everything, basically. They take over the Liberation Army, and they have everything they could have possibly needed. All that manpower that they lost out on after their first couple of assaults, because their numbers have just decreased so much over time. When they first set out, they had a good chunk of people joined up, but ultimately it wasn't enough. And the second time around, they had some, fairly elite wackadoos, but again, not enough. And now that they've upgraded, they now have the power, the resources, and the ability to just cause havoc all over. And just, it's exactly what he wanted. It's exactly the kind of thing he wanted. To just have liberation, to do what you please. That's exactly what you want. You might code it in fancy words, but ultimately what Destro was asking for is anarchy. Just use your powers unabashedly, free of consequence and all that. That's anarchy. There have to be rules, because in certain situations, people like Tomura, who have powers that are just way too destructive, would just go around murdering people left and right. That's the downside to Himiki Toga and all of that. She goes around hurting people. It's one thing if you don't hurt people with your abilities, but once you do, yeah, you're a danger to others and everyone around you, and there have to be limits on what you can do. I'm sorry, that's just the luck of the draw in this kind of superhuman society. And I feel like these guys aren't grasping this, all in the pursuit of a want for freedom. I get it, I understand, but there has to be limits because of the danger certain guys like Tomura pose. But words on deaf ears and all that good stuff. But a good chapter, a great chapter, just seeing how unstoppable Tomura could really be. Honestly, I'm still under the question of why All For One never just took his power. It truly has enough force that he could have easily taken down All Might, but ultimately it feels that comes from the fact that All For One was just too proud to actually use something like that, and it'd be too quick. He wanted All Might to suffer. That was his goal. But interesting stuff, great stuff. But what could stop Tomura if you can't even get close to him? You can't even touch him anymore. But With all this power, who knows what happens next? Tell me your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. If you liked this video, leave me a like. If you didn't, feel free to leave me a dislike and tell me what I did wrong in the comment section below. Subscribe and hit the bell icon, that way you don't miss out on another My Hero Academia chapter review. And if you want to find me on social media, just Google Duuz-Diz-Din. I am everywhere, for better, but usually for worse. And until the next video, you just have to remember that there's always someone looking to succeed you in your passions, efforts, endeavors, what have you. The question is, should they? Sometimes the people who come after you create more problems than actual solutions. Ugh, a chilling thought. But until next time, I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, and I should really go to bed. Bye-bye.